Who will be Ash's 6th Pokemon? Let's talk about it. Yo, how's it going, PokeChamps? This is your boy InfamousTrainer, and today we're talking about a Pokemon Journeys discussion and the possibility of what Pokemon could be Ash's 6th Pokemon. Now with that being said, there is so much going on in Pokemon Journeys, especially after the events of episode 27, where we actually have a brand new team member for Ash's team. That Pokemon being something I really didn't expect myself, and that is Galarian Farfetch'd. Now within Pokemon Journeys, Ash is looking to have a pretty stacked team compared to other seasons, with of course having Pikachu, Dragonite, Gengar, Riolu, and the new Galarian Farfetch'd. Now that being said, who is going to be the 6th or possibly final Pokemon that Ash will catch in Pokemon Journeys? Now that's not me saying that he will only catch 5 Pokemon without the entire series, but I do believe he'll catch multiple Pokemon and have a nice rotation of other Pokemon he has at Professor Oak's lab and even the Alola region. Now first, I want to start with an obvious choice that I've been hearing a lot about, and that of course is being Sobble or Grookey. Now we know as the date I am recording this video, we are waiting for episode 28 of Pokemon Journeys, where we will get to see Sobble. Now there is some promotional art going around showing off Sobble with Goh. This could possibly mean that Goh will be catching Sobble in the next episode. Now it raises the question of, will Ash get Grookey, as I do feel like this Pokemon fits his personality and a Pokemon I would love to see on Ash's team. And I did make a video on talking about this topic already, which I'll have in the description and the card above. But overall, I'm hoping to see Grookey on Ash's team to give him another strong type grass Pokemon. And yes, of course, he has Sceptile, Bulbasaur, Rowlet, and the mighty Torterra. At this point in the series, Ash does not have himself a Galar starter. So will this be the first season Ash does not get a starter at all? Now next up, I want to talk about some of my top picks that you guys may have heard me talk about in other videos, like I did with Pokemon Trainer Brian on his video, and through live streams. Some of those choices being Orbeetle, Morgrem, or even Espeon. Now of course, I have my personal reasons on why I want Ash to catch these Pokemon, or at least have one of them on his team, but to sum it up, I want him to have another Pokemon that is fitting the typing of Psychic or Fairy to replace Mr. Mime, as I really do believe Mr. Mime is a Pokemon who is going to be staying at home or staying at the lab and not a battle Pokemon in rotation like the rest of Ash's team. Orbeetle would be a great Pokemon since Ash hasn't caught a Bug-type Pokemon since the actual Unova region. Morgrem would be a great addition to the team, giving him a Fairy and Dark type, not to mention I love Impidim's line so much. And Espeon would be a great counteraction of how his relationship and how his rivalry and his friendship overall is different from Gary as well as Gladion, and Espeon would be an amazing Pokemon as so many fans wanted him to have an Eevee within every season of Pokemon. But we don't know if Ash will catch any of these Pokemon because Pokemon Journeys is so unpredictable. But I do have a list of Pokemon that you guys actually said within different live streams and videos for Ash to possibly catch and have on his team for the next team member. Now I want to talk about this one first, being Larvitar or possibly even Tyranitar. A lot of Pokemon fans are hoping that the continuity is true and Ash will go back to Johto to catch himself that Larvitar, as it may be possible as we have seen Tyranitar merch before, as well as Larvitar merch as well. Another cool choice I've seen is Centiskorch, giving Ash another bug type Pokemon, which would be great if he's not going to get Orbeetle, but also giving him a fire type for Pokemon Journeys and giving us another great representation of the Galar region. Another choice that someone has chosen is actually Applin. With it being a very unique typing of grass and dragon, I can see it making its way on Ash's team. And for the evolution, I feel like out of the two, Appleton fits Ash the most. I'm not sure why, but overall the design looks like something Ash would have on his team. Next up on the list is going to be a Litleo and possibly a Pyroar, because back in the X and Y days, he did encounter a Litleo and it would have been an amazing Pokemon for Ash to catch. Another great choice from the Kalos region is actually him grabbing a Skiddo and evolving to a Go-Go, which actually is one of my favorite Pokemon from the Kalos region and a Pokemon I can see standing right by Ash. It would give him a great Pokemon to ride on from time to time. Another great choice being a Pokemon that I've seen a lot of people say could go with Ash, but I feel like it's more of a Go Pokemon, being Zoroark, and I feel like this Pokemon is a good choice, but at the same time, again, I feel like this would fit more of Go more than Ash. I've also seen different Pokemon fans say Golisopod, as he did meet a Wimpod and we thought he was going to catch one. And Golisopod would be an additional bug type Pokemon, but also a water type and be pretty strong. And the last choice that I have on this list is actually going to be Eiscue, or Eiscue, however you say it, as I do find this Pokemon very interesting because for the most part, it's not a super popular Pokemon, but it could be a popular Pokemon if Ash actually uses one. It has a very simple design and would give him another Ice-type Pokemon alongside Glalie. And even though it has that block on his head, making it a slower Pokemon, Ash tends to be a fast battle type person, but once that block breaks, he actually becomes a speedy ice type. So I can see some really cool combinations that Ash would have for this Pokemon in the Pokemon World Championship. And of course, within Pokemon Journeys, Ash has been picking up different combinations and techniques from other battles that he's been seeing in the Pokemon World Championship. So maybe he could pick up something super cool for Eiscue with Hail, from our man Raihan, who's super cool with the weather conditions. And I will also say Snom would be a great choice being an ice and bug type, but I feel like that's more of a Pokemon for Koharu, just for anyone who is asking. But overall, we have an amazing list of different Pokemon Ash could have on the team, from Grookey to Orbeetle, Morgrem, Espeon, Larvitar/Tyranitar, Centiskorch, Appletun, Pyroar, that could be a Litleo, Go-Go, Zoroark, Golisopod, and Eiscue. Now those could all be some amazing choices, and maybe I could be wrong and he chooses none of these Pokemon, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Which one of these choices do you think that Ash would actually pick the most? And if none of these choices would be the best pick, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm really excited to see what kind of team Ash is going to have in Pokemon Journeys because it has been so unpredictable. Like him getting a Gengar, a Dragonite, and Galarian Farfetch'd is just mind-blowing, and don't even get me started on Riolu. Again, I'm excited to see what your comments are, guys. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.